So Mara Technologies, more than 10 plus years of experience, they have, and they are purely into SAP S4 HANA end-to-end implementation project and migration project or rollout and support kind of projects. They are going to execute the project. Sorry. So about Mara Technologies. So Mara Technologies almost more than 15 plus years experience in SAP training, real-time and end-to-end implementation project, and we provide SAP training. So because most of them they are joining for training and they couldn't able to get the job placements because they don't have the project experience or they don't have any other kind of we can say some kind of experience point of view. So those kind of related things, Mara Technologies, they are supporting. So if you need any kind of assistance, so career oriented, career development program. So if you join there, you will get the job. So it's not like a kind of assurance, but yes. So we have placed more than 10,000 plus, candidates we have placed. So this because of everything end to end. So training will be there, project will be there. For that, one company will maybe you'll be working as an internship or something, so that kind of everything they will provide to you. So that's a complete end-to-end support they will provide to you. And so we have trained more than 7,000 here they mentioned, but it will be more than 10,000 because we are more than 10 15 years in the field. So every project we have a 10 20 to 30 members teams they are working, and we are implementing the project like we have with multiple modules. Suppose you are into EWM module, so they have a MM team will be working, there is a SD team will be working, there is a PP team will be working. So you have the enough very good experience in very short period with complete end-to-end implementation integration kind of knowledge is sharing also with other cross module also. Same thing for other module, like the same thing if you are a SD consultant, if you are SD trainee, you will have exposure of SD and FI integrations, you will have an integration of SD and PP integration, you will have an integration of SD and MM integration, PM integrations, PS integrations, like that. Okay. And so we trained and placed more than 200 plus project managers across the global. Suppose you want to become a project manager, yes, you can work on this project. We are also providing the project management training, and we trained and placed 100 plus solution architect. Suppose you have already 3 years experience, 5 years experience. Now I want to make myself as a solution architect. So that kind of exposure also we are providing here, and 100% of placements, so based on that, because this complete end-to-end pack we are going to provide you. So not only the training. So suppose like as a fresher, you want to join as a SAP project, you might be already completed training with some other institute, or maybe you completed the training from different sources, correct? So now we provide with other other extracurricular activities, like we are providing with a end-to-end implementation project. See, the implementation project, there are again multiple projects are there, support projects are there, there are more than 100 plus support tickets you have to handle. So what are all the questions they will ask, how you can able to answer. So those things and all, as a with kind of what kind of ticketing tools will be using. So how the ticket will be assigned, assign the ticket, how you can able to you can able to respond. After that, you are responding the ticket, how you can able to close. So all the exposure, like if in a MNC company, an IT company, how if you are working, so 3 to 4 years of experience, how they are working, the same exposure within 2 years, within 60 days, the end-to-end implementation project you are getting here, right? So the last point, we support your profile till you get a job. So which means I completed the training. So I need the let's say for I need for certification training assistance. So if you have any kind of supports, we provide for certification training. Yes, we provide the certification training for you. So second thing, any support tickets also, we provide the support tickets, and along with the implementation project we provide the support tickets. So how you can able to resolve the support tickets, and we will assist you. Suppose you couldn't able to provide the solution, so even we will assist in our internal team. We have all the model in Mara Technologies. So we have SD, FI, PP, PM, QM, EWM, and even Ariba. All the module consultants are there. So this consultant also will going to help, because most of them already you are a working consultant, working consultant. So you are available only for 7 to 8 or 8 to 9. So even our consultant will definitely they will help you, and even for Saturday also, even Sunday also, where most of the consultant they are working. So they will help you in what way you can able to utilize them. So this is a good opportunity for you. So within 60 days, how you can promote yourself as a SAP consultant in any of the module. Yeah, Kanimuli, you can.
Thank you, sir. Uh, yeah, so apart from whatever Dhanush sir have shared, we are providing what are the projects like implementation projects, support projects, and we are also concentrating on the rollout projects, migration project from ECC to S/4HANA, and kind of projects. And also we are having a project manager training for agile methodologies. So PMO training is also available in our institute. So apart from that, we are having the solution architects. So solution architects are nothing but students who are having a knowledge on more than 2 to 3 modules. So I've experienced for about 8 to 10 years experience. Consultants can act as a solution architect here. So for them also, we are providing the training. So also we are having some benefits on hands-on experience as we are having implementation project and many projects will be executed there, and internship program is also available in our training institute. We are having real-time project exposure and of job-oriented training. So like we'll be guiding you in the resume preparations. We'll have mock interviews, how to do and how we are presenting in the interviews. Everything will be clearly taught in this training program.
Okay. So here, in addition to that, already we discussed the implementation project, right? So we are going to discuss what are the deliverables, what are the phases, and what are the deliverables we do. So everything we are going to do, because we are here for the implementation project. So in addition to that, the support project. So support project, there are so many issues will be coming. So once the project is live, so then you will be getting so many issues. So those issues, they will create a support tickets. So those issues, the client will create as a support tickets, maybe per day, how many tickets, they raised, how many ticket it is in process, which means assigned to the consultant. So how many tickets which are not yet assigned, so how many tickets they are in process, which means they are working, and how many tickets they are closed today. So like that, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, they are going to be monitored. So for that, the same kind of exposure, we are also going to provide you the support project for every consultant who working in every trainees who are working in our project. So additionally, you are working in a support project also. So for that, we have a Jira ticket is there. So Jira ticket tools will be used, and we will assign all the support tickets, and you have to resolve. You have to prepare the documentation. You have to attach in the Jira ticket tools. Finally, you have to close the tickets. Okay. So that exposure, everything you will be getting here. Rollout project also you will be getting in addition to that. Okay. Rollout project and implementation project, the big, the difference, there is not a much difference actually. We can say 80% of the methodology is same, 80% of the deliverables are same. So only the 20% of the deliverables, which are not required, which are not following in, as per the activate methodology. So that is also we are going to discuss here. So in your profile, when you are going to create your CV as a SAP SD consultant or MM consultant or EWM consultant or FICO consultant, so you should mention, I have a end-to-end implementation project experience. I was involved in the preparation phase. I was involved in the blueprint phase, configuration phase, testing phase, like that. So second project, I was involved in the rollout project. So which client and what is the duration? So which company, which under which company you have worked, and what is the roles and responsibility? The same way, the third project you have to put it like a support project. So finally, what I'm going to trying to say here is one training, and finally the complete end-to-end cycle you are getting, and how you can update your CV with multiple projects. And that exposure, we are not segregated. Support project is a separate training, or even rollout project is a separate training. We are not done that. So everything we have merged into single project with a single package. Okay, so that we will discuss. So migration project also the same way, right? So I think So this project we are going to during the implementation project we are going to discuss and everything. So in before that we are explained what is support project. So support project, how many tickets you will give, so whether this ticket is related to the real time tickets, whether I can able to resolve, so what is the ticketing tools you are using, so what basis I have to receive those tickets and everything, you can able to get it actually. Okay, so benefits already she's explained actually. So definitely this hands-on experience will easily you can able to get the exposure. You can clear the technical round interview, and this is looks like an internship program. People who wants to do, I want to do 3 months internship program or 6 months internship program. Yes. So end of the day, how much efforts you are putting, how many hours you are working. So how passionate you are working in this, working, and how many hours you are working in SAP server in your laptop. So that is the matter actually here. So people are getting the job in 30 days or 60 days or 45 days based on number of hours you are working on that. Yes, Tinú.
Yes. So now I'm just getting into the projects and how we are, through which methodology we are following our end-to-end implementation project. So we have, in this activate methodology, we have 6 phases there. So these are the phases like discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run.
Yeah.
So
So
these are,
actually, generally,
yeah,
yeah, generally what happened in that ASAP methodology, right? So now we are SAP S4 HANA. They are using for activate methodology. So previously we are using for SAP, uh, ECC, right? In SAP ECC. So there actually we are using for active, we are using for ASAP methodology. So that ASAP methodology, there are here it's a 6 phases, but in ASAP methodology there are 5 phases. Okay, but ultimate, if for you your concern, there are 70 to 80% of methodology is completely, it's the same only, and there is a slight changes, and what all the delta changes from ECC to SAP S4 HANA, those things and all we will be discussing in the project. Plus, and what are the deliverables in the project, right? Suppose you started, you assign for the project, and from the day one, so what are all the deliverables in discover phase, what are all the deliverables you have to do in the preparation phase, what are all the activity you will be doing, 1 2 3 4 5, and in the explore phase, what are all the activity. So in the realization phase, what are all the configurations you are going to do in the realization phase, what are all the test scripts, unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing you are going to do in the deployment phase, right? How the cutover activities you are going to be worked, and how you are going to upload your master data, and how much volume of data you are going to upload. So everything we are going to discuss about each and every phases.
yeah. So the first phase is the discover phase. Here, we'll be having the document is that the first document that is deliverable as the scope document. In this discover phase, the a business analyst, the core team members, and the senior consultants will be involved, and the preparation of the scope document will be made in this discover phase. So, the solution architects will be involved in this for the preparation of the scope document. So during this phase, the customer can also apply for a trial solution if applicable, and try it for themselves to check the features and the functionalities of the solutions. Uh, and the discovery is that the consultants, so initially, when the customer realized there is a need for a solution to satisfy their business pain points, and they start looking out for the right SAP solutions to map their requirements. So when the client, they are in need of any of the business requirement, so then we'll be, as a SAP consultant, that is from this, the business analyst or the senior consultants, or the solution architects. So they'll be involved in the business requirements, and there'll be all the documents that is uh, all about the client's business will be gathered, and it will be documented in the scope document. That is the discover phase.
Okay. So here, like what we discussed about the scope document. Okay, the scope document is nothing but your as is document, right? So as is document is like, that is one of the Bible for you, what you are going to implement. Okay. So here the preparation for discover phase, what you are going to do. So you are going to, there are either two way. Either you are preparing the scope document, or either the client will provide the scope document. Okay, for example, some of the client already they have business analysts, so they prepared all the document, what all the P2P process, what all the O2C cycle process, everything they will prepare, and everything they will give it to you. Otherwise, you have to go with the questionnaires. First, you have to prepare the questionnaires. What is questionnaires? So there are 100 plus questions. You have to ask. Okay, tell me what all the divisions you are going to be implemented. So what all the type of process we are currently you have? Are you going to create the purchase requisition? Are you going to create any inquiry? Are you going to create any sales order process? So how the process? Do you have any third party systems? If third party system, how you are going to interconnect it? So currently both the systems are connected or not. So like that, all the 100 plus questions you have to raise, and finally you have to come to the conclusion. Okay, these are all the process currently they are following. So that is what I'm just showing here one of the document. So this document which contains about the scope document. So they will explain about the about the divisions and what are the business process. So all the details they will explain with you. So these documents will be we will be providing on behalf of client. We will provide you. This is looks like one of the ASIS document or scope document. And now based on this document, you have to prepare the the further deliverables. You have to prepare the BPML, right? So this scope document will be provided. So every module consultant, you will be receiving the scope model, or even MMSD, FIPP, you will be receiving the scope document from us. So based on the scope document, we are going to deliver the BPML. So we will discuss what is BPML.
Yeah, so here the second phase is the prepare phase. So this prepare phase actually will be having four different. Um, we'll have the BPML, that is first in the kickoff meeting. Will be the stakeholders and the team members or will be there in the kickoff meeting where we'll be discussing about the BPML. The BPML is all about the business process map list. So, in short, we can tell it like we are mapping business process with the standard business process. So, in SAP, we are every module will be having some standard business processes, right? So, all these standard business process, we are supposed to map it to the client's business process. Based on the client's business process, we have to map the thing that is that will be in an Excel sheet format. So, where the mapping will be done and this will be discussed and discussed with the client, and we'll be making sure that all the business process which we have mapped is relevant to the client's business. So here we'll have an approval from them. We'll get an approval from the client, and the milestone will be completed for as of the prepare phase.
Okay. So here the preparation phase, what Kanimali is explained. So end of the day, the business process map list or business process master list. Okay. So BPML. So this BPML, how we are going to deliver. So okay, who will deliver? So the project trainees. Okay, who is the project trainees, and whoever is going to join the project, they are going to deliver the BPML. Why this BPML is required? So that is big another big questions. Why I need to deliver the BPML? So some of the client, they are not delivering any BPML. So again, this is based on the methodology. So right, if you go with the IBM global template, or they are asking, okay, you have to deliver the BPML. What are the business process? Business process is nothing but each and every module we know what are the standard process. Suppose you are a EWM consultant. In inbound I have a 10 process. In outbound I have another 10 process. In integrate in production I have a 7 process. So I have totally 30 plus process are there. So are you going to implement all the 30 process? Yes or no? The same way like team also. They have a, material, we have a P2P process like a standard stock material procurement, subcontracting procurement, intercompany procurement, intra-company procurement, framework procurement, service for cost center, service for plant maintenance, service for product, project. So like that we have a 10, 15 plus project, process are there. Are we going to implement all the 15 process? Yes or no? Same thing for SD, same thing for FICO, same thing for PPQM, PM also, right? So that BPML, how you can able to prepare it. So those document also, let me show you. So the template has to be prepared, everyone has to prepare and you have to deliver it. So that template they will give you. Based on that, you have to go through the scope document. you have to go through the scope document. So who will give the scope document? So each and every module we provide the scope document. The scope documents already clearly explain about the detailed business process, and you have to go through the scope document. Based on that, you have to prepare the BPML. So I will show you how the BPML should, like this. So every, for example,
Sir, is there any question answer session?
one second. For example, there is a SD module. So for SD module, they have listed out what all the process, O2C process currently they have, and these processes are applicable for all the divisions or not. So like that, each and every module we have the BPML documents are there, and this BPML document has to be demonstrated, has to be reviewed from the PMO department. So finally, you have to deliver to client. Okay, so this is one of the sample business process master list. Okay, so the project organization structure finalizations is nothing but, the client side, who is the project manager, and who is the team leads, or who is the module lead, like we can say FICO, who is the manager, SD, who is the manager, FICO. So all the module and everything is going to be identified. Same thing like a client side also. So this is nothing but like the PMO, they will take care of that. No need to worry about that. But mainly the BPML is our key deliverable. So each and every consultant, you have to deliver the BPML based on the scope document. Okay, so that will be the biggest activity, because you have to go through all the maybe 200 pages of the scope document will be there. Each and every line you have to, each and every business process flow diagram, everything you have to go through that. Then based on that, you have to identify what are the process currently they are following. So that process only you have to mention in your BPML.
Yes, now we are moving on to the third phase. Um, so here what we'll be doing is that we'll be having four different deliverables here. So the first one is the fit to standard based on the SAP best practices. So the fit to standard is like what are all the business process that we have found out in the BPML based on the scope document. What are all the business process we have found out for that every single business process. So we'll be explaining it to the client. So from there we'll be explaining is like so we'll be explaining it from the best practices. So the best practices is nothing but a predefined all the business process, everything that is overviews, the business benefits, and then the flow charts, SAP steps, that is process steps for all the roles and authorization person who are involved in that business process. Everything will be, a predefined one, which is already available in the best practices in the SAP communities. So where from that we'll be, copying that all the predefined data, that is informations, and we'll be making a PPT. A presentation will be prepared for all the business process. That is the fit to standard. We are trying to fitting it to the standard one, which is already there in the SAP. So that PPT will be we'll be presenting it to the client, and we'll be making sure that the business process that we have found out and which is already there in the standard one is up to their requirement. So then we'll be having, so when we are explaining it to the client, so a few of the clients will need some requirements, no, based on their needs. So what we'll be doing, at that time we'll be having them the gap analysis. So here we'll be having the rise of objects, the gap, that is the business requirement will be based on these objects, like workflows, reports, interface, conversions, enhancements, and flow. The WRIC of the expansion of that is the workflow, reports, interface, conversion, enhancement, and forms. Okay, so so based on this objects only, we'll be having some gap analysis. So we'll be doing some functional specification, and we'll be giving it to the ABAPers, and they'll be doing the needful for the enhancements or any of the customization that we are doing it for the client. And then once the customization is over, so we'll be moving on to the blueprint, that is BPP. Business blueprint will be created where all, that is a combination of assets and to be document, which consists of, all the information that is from the org structure and to the what are all the configurations that we are going to do in that implementation project. So along with the naming conventions, what we are going to give for the org structures, organization elements, everything will be mentioned in that blueprint. So what are all the gaps that we have identified? What are the business process? So everything will be there in that blueprint. So based on that the blueprint, so all the organization structures will be moving on to the fourth deliverables, that is the key data structure, which will be in an Excel format actually. So all the information regarding the organization structure will be there in the the KDS. The naming conventions, the descriptions. For example, from SD modules, what can we tell, like the company code and what the company code that we are maintaining, the naming conventions like RA01. Likewise, we'll be maintaining that for the sales org, distribution channel, divisions, and master data, any of the master data that we are going to, a customer account group, what is the BP grouping. So everything, so number ranges. So what we are going to do in our configurations, all that will be maintained in this KDS. So after that, so these are all the main four deliverables that we are going to prepare. For all the things we will be doing some documentations here. So then we'll be having the data migration approach. So where the data will be migrated from the legacy to the SAP servers. And then who are all the roles and authorization persons who are involved, that is authorization matrix will be discussed in here. And finally, the milestone will be completed.
Okay, so here the explore phase. Okay, this is again the consultant. It's a moreover is a documentations, right? The explore phase is nothing but we are going to exploring what all the functionality they have. So all the things we need to record it. Okay, what all the way we are going to record it? So we are going to record it in the business blueprint. Okay, so business blueprint, so before business blueprint, you have to give a fit to standard workshop. Okay, what is fit to standard workshop? So you have to demonstrate the SAP best practices. You have to demonstrate the SAP best practices to customer. So these are all the process based on the BPML. Based on the BPML, we already addressed there are 15 plus process in MM, there are 25 process in FICO, like that we already addressed. So based on the BPML, so now SAP we can able to download the best practices. So what best practices shows that there is a process flow diagrams will be there, detailed business process will be there, that role by role, department by department, when the production order is created, who will create the production order and who will run the MRP and who will issue the material to production and who will confirm the production order. So finally, who will transfer the product final material, final FG material from production line to the dispatching location. So these are all done by individual department. So now single persons cannot be done it, but you are a SAP person, you have all the access, you are doing. But when it comes to real time, when it comes to the customer site, so there every department they are doing their own activity. Same thing for purchasing also. So who they are going to create the let's say for purchase requisition, end user department they are creating the purchase requisition. So department manager who is going to approve the purchase requisition, who is going to review, right? So after that purchaser what he is going to do? He is going to create the RFQ, quotation, comparison, purchase order, even if required purchase contract also, right? So next there is a purchase manager. So purchase manager is going to approve the purchase order, maybe rejecting also. So then warehouse clerk is coming. So warehouse clerk is going to receive the material. Maybe he can return the material also. So then warehouse manager also involving. So then accounts payable accountant is there. So what he is going to do? Accounts payable accountant, he is going to receive, he is going to booking the invoice. So based on the three-way matching. What is three-way matching? Purchase order, goods receipt, right? So then invoice. So the three-way matching is nothing but in a booking the payment purpose, three-way matching, but at least the two-way matching, they are booking the invoice. So that is an payable accounts manager. He is going to verify that invoice before you are posting. So like that, every department, right? Every department, every module, there are multiple sub departments are there. Okay, everything we have to explain. There is a fit to standard workshop. So that is what is Kanimul explained, there is a fit to standard workshop. I will show you that how it looks like. Then RISIP list. Okay, what is RISIP list? Because as I told you, for implementation project, only for configuration is not the deliverable. So now you are a consultant. Okay, now you are slowly you are moving into consultant, from trainee to consultant. So you should give a solution. You are a doctor. If you are a doctor, I have a severe headache. So doctor should give a solution, right? Maybe injection or tablet or any other tonic or something I need to use, right? So the same way, as a once you turn into consultant, you should give a solutions, right? You should give a solution. And the solution, in the sense, the RISIP object I'm asking. RISIP in the sense, there are some purely technical objects, forms, reports, interfaces, enhancements, workflow. So these are all, in interview point of view, they will left and right, they will ask you, have you worked any enhancements? Have you worked any interfaces? Have you worked any kind of conversions? So this kind of exposure, I'm sure that nobody good in this RISIP object, because nobody is going to teach you in the basic level 1 configurations. Basic configuration, nobody is going to teach you the RISIP object. But when it comes to the implementation project, and you want to migrate yourself as a consultant, so at that time you have to update your profile with, yes, I have worked in SAP RISIP objects. I have worked in reports. I have worked in interfaces. I have worked in conversions and enhancements and forms and everything. Okay, those things also we are going to see that. And authorization roles and assignments. Okay, authorization roles and assignment, already I told you, like a production department, who's creating the production order, who's issuing the material, who's confirming. So this is nothing but department. The roles has to be fixed. Roles is nothing but group of T codes or group of Fiori apps we are going to be assigned to the one particular department. Okay, so let me share you some sample fit to standard SAP best practices. So this fit to standard, let's say for there is a SAP best practices. Okay, so here if you see the SAP best practices, I'm just opening for one of the SD module. Okay, so here there is a written order process for non-stock material. So here there is a return and refund clerk. Okay, refund clerk is one of the role. He is going to create the returnable order. So then there is a shipping specialist. So after that he is going to create the post goods receipts. So then the determine the refund. So then finally the billing clerk is coming to the picture. Okay, so now that the fit to standard workshop, so every module, so this role, this is SAP S4 HANA role is more important. So you have to design your PPT documents. Okay, you have to design your PowerPoint presentation in such a way that, so you have to prepare for all the BPML process. All the BPML process you have to prepare the fit to standard. If I share any one of the sample fit to standard, let's say for there are some fit gap documents. So fit gap. Okay, so this is one of the sample fit gap document for consumable purchase. Okay, so just to explain about what is the purpose of the benefit. So this is one of the more important actually, because if you want to become you show that, okay, I'm a SAP consultant, and while demonstrate this process to customer, they will terminate you, which means don't think different way. They will expect the experienced consultant. So whether you are a real consultant or not, maybe just you are saying that, okay, I have a 1 year experience, I can able to work in the implementation project, they will not agree. Because here actually, the workshop I'm talking about, this is the workshop. In client side, all the 50 100 people will be there, and you have to give a solution, you have to give a demonstrate the process to them. So at that time they should they should agree your solution. Before that, they will make sure that whether you really understand my scope document. So initially we discussed about the scope document, right? So they will ask you whether really you understand my scope document, yes or no. If you are not understand, and you are giving the fit to standard workshop, and you are preparing some PowerPoint present, most of the consultant I'm telling, they don't know how to prepare the PowerPoint presentation. I'm telling 10 years experience consultant. So that is more important actually. The designing of the PowerPoint presentation is more important actually. Okay, so that kind of exposure, everything you are going to the fit to standard. Don't think about in different way. because all the suppose you identified there are 15 process in BPML, 15 process you identified in your module. All the 15 process you have to prepare 15 PowerPoint presentation in such a way that you have to deliver to them. Okay, so this is because once this is done, then only you will move to blueprint. In my career, I know most of the consultant will not pass to blueprint phase. Before that, they will send it out, because I know, right, most of them they'll put some experience, somehow they some reference they came into the company, but when they're sitting in the implementation project, so at that time the blueprint phase, there are so many customer and consultant interactive sessions will be going, so they will send it out, because he cannot able to provide the solutions, because he might not work in any implementation project. So that kind of here we are giving the complete end-to-end cycle within 60 days, how you can able to update yourself as a SAP consultant. Okay, that's what I'm just telling. So this kind of fit to standard workshop is more important for us. So that kind of we have 1 week activity for that. You are going to prepare and everything, you are going to deliver this to customer. Next to that, let me open any of the RISE objects. Okay, so next one, that is the RISE object. I already explained about what is RISE object, right? So RISE object, so this is for this implementation project. So we have to identify what are all the gaps. Okay, so gaps is mainly for the, so what are all the interfaces or what are all the enhancements we are going to be do that. So minimum 20 to 30 RISE object you will be working in this implementation project. Suppose I will just filter with module wise. Let's say for FICO. So FICO they have four different. Yeah, there are four kind of gaps are there. This is one of the sample only. Okay, so again based on that project, this will the numbers will be differing based on the project. So here there is a forms. Here we have some of the RISE object will be reports, interfaces will be there. So that maybe, yeah. So for example, this is for material management. So material management they have worked on more RISE objects. Okay, so the RISE object is nothing but, for example, let's say this is like I'll take one of the sample RISE objects. There is a purchase order validation should happen based on the company code, a plant, or even subcontracting GRN enhancement. So what they want to do that. So this information. So when they are going to do the goods receipt for the subcontracting purchase order, so they want to restrict something. So in what basis they have to restrict? So what is the functional module they have to use it, and what is the body they have to use it? So finally, whether how we can able to do the testing and everything, right? So complete functional consultant roles, how to prepare the functional specification. So you should know complete end-to-end cycle of the business process. So then only you can able to execute the process. So then only you can able to complete the RISE object. So this exposure also, this project, in addition to that, you are going to get the RISE object also, you are going to get that. So next one, we are going to see that there is a roles and authorization. Okay, what is roles and authorization? So already we have discussed the roles and authorization, which is nothing but the sub department. The grouping of the transaction code, right? So there are multiple sub department, right? In production department, when you are talking about production planning module, there are 4 to 5 sub departments are there. So we have to design the role for minimum 4 to 5 sub departments. We have to design the role actually. So let me open the roles and authorization. Okay, so role is nothing but here like yeah, this is like one of the SAP BR production master. So okay, so this is one of the role. Product master is nothing but who is going to create the material master. Next one is like a Bupa master. Bupa master is nothing but who is going to create the supplier master. And purchaser. Purchaser who is going to create the purchase requisition, right? So purchaser is going to create the purchase requisition. So then we are going to create SAP. Suppose RFQ quotation comparisons, even so those informations also will be created by the purchaser. But here SAP they have given SAP BR purchaser is the role they provided for purchase requisition as well as purchase order. Purchase order is nothing but RFQ, quotation, comparison, and everything. But now we need to create the role. Purchase requisition is separate. See, some company, what will happen? Purchase requisition will be end user department. Purchase order will be purchase department. So now in this case, what will happen? So we need to restrict the role, right? So we need to restrict the role. How we can restrict the role? So now SAP, we are purchaser. We have to create a two different role. One is for end user department who create the purchase requisition. Another one is for the purchase department who create the RFQ quotation comparison. So like that, we have to create the roles, right? So here, whatever I'm just showing, role name and the description of the role, and what is the app ID or T code. So some of the cases, app ID will be using, some of the app, some of the app transaction, they will be using app ID only. So then there is a Fiori of descriptions. Okay. So then there is a business process. So this role has to be created each and every department. So we will have the sample template for all the module. We will provide the roles and authorization, and these roles and authorization are also more important actually. So because in interview point of view, they will ask you whether have you involved in roles and authorization. Could you tell me what are the roles you created in your module? So whether those kind of questions also will be asking for the roles and authorization. Okay, so these are all the activity deliverable for the explore phase. So next we will move to realize phase. Yes, Kanimali.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So now we are in the fourth phase, that is real life phase. So here, we'll be doing our configurations. Now, based on the KDs that we've prepared, which consists of all the organization elements and the descriptions and the naming conventions. So based on that, we'll start doing our configuration. So module specific configuration, the consultants will start doing that. And once the configuration is over, so after the, we'll be having a show and tell session with the client. So we'll be executing an end-to-end process. So for example, whether it is in a order to cash process or the procure to pay process or anything. So what we'll do, so we'll execute one process and we'll be telling them that this is what the business process, this is how, these are all the process steps. Likewise, we'll be showing and telling them the uh, business process. So then after that, we'll be having a preliminary cutover plan. So maybe 20 to 30% of the data will be transferred from the that is the landscapes. So where from the development server to the quality server, will be transmitting that. And then also we'll be having some legacy system, that is data from the legacy system, and also the SAP servers. That cutover plan will also be made in this preliminary cutover plan. So for this, unit testing and integration testing, and user acceptance. So these are all the three different test phases that where we'll be preparing the test scripts separately for unit testing, and SIT is the system integration testings. So then we'll be having the user acceptance testings. So this UT and SIT will be done in the the quality server, and that is UIT, that is UT, testing is nothing but the business process steps which involves only in the module specific. So what are all the business steps, business process steps that we'll be executing in to accomplish one business process? All those steps will be tested in this unit testing. So SIT is nothing but when two more than one module get integrates with for executing one business process. So, for example, whether it is down payment involved in a sales or procurement process, and similarly, if there is any third-party business process or make-to-order process, so that type of business process. So we'll be having more than one business modules that involved. So for that, we'll be doing the SIT test. So after that, we'll be having the end user training. So we'll be providing the end user, that is the client side end user will be there. So we'll be providing them the end user. The user manuals also will be provided to them. So here, after that, the user acceptance testing. So the client side, so some of the end users or the pro users will be involved to do the UAT, that is user acceptance testing will be done. So finally, the milestone will be completed.
Okay, so now the realization phase. So now only your configuration is going to use here. So what we have learned, maybe the level one training. So initially what you have learned, so that configuration is going to be used during the realization phase. So till now, we are not talk about your configurations. So we talk about like how the scope document preparation, how to prepare the questionnaires, how to prepare the workshop, how to prepare the fit to standard workshop, how to prepare the BPML business blueprint, KDS, right? So many things we have discussed. But now the configurations, right? The configuration, before we are going to do the configurations, we should know the landscape, right? So what is landscape? So landscape is nothing but how in the design of the system, right? So development system we know, quality system we know, production system we know. But development system, quality system, production system, all three we can keep it in one server. So system will work it. There are three different instances can be created. So there are three different client. Nothing but three different instances can be created. Or we can create a quality development system, quality system in one instance or one server. Production system will be in another server. So this is another interview questions. Okay, most of the interviewer they will ask you, could you tell me that the landscape of SAP currently in your server in your client. So how the landscape they have designed. So most of the interview this is the interview questions actually. So that you should tell that in cloud how it will work, if it is on premises how it will work. So whether it is development quality production or whether development quality, so those things you should be clearly you have to explain. Okay, next one, there is a show and tell session. Okay, so till now what happened, client, you understand the client requirement, you demonstrated, you done the fit to standard workshop, you collected the RISE object and everything, you created the blueprint and everything. So now they are asking whether you have understand my system or not. You have understand means whether you whatever till now, see, you done the blueprint, they don't know your blueprint how you are going to design it. Okay, so but they know, they, because client they want to see, because you written, you done the flow diagram, you done that as is document, you done the to be process, you done the to be process flow diagram, you done the integration point, all the things you added in your blueprint. But client side, whether really they know whatever you written in the blueprint, really they know? No. So they will expect whether can I do the say whatever currently I'm using Oracle system, and you are going to put it in that SAP system, whether can I drive a car, right? Now both are two different car, can I drive it? Or whether I need one more driver is required to drive a car. So that is what initially they will expect. So how to create the purchase order, how to create the production order. So before create the production order, where I should open, how to click the where to click the mouse. So those things and all more challenging for them, right? So for that purpose only there is a show and tell sessions they are going to conduct. So this show and tell sessions, everybody, at least maybe you good in within 1 or 2 days the session will be completed. Or otherwise some of the module they need at least minimum 1 week it is required. You have to demonstrate all the process, then they will identify it, then they will confirm, right? So that would be the show and tell sessions. Next one, there is a cutover plan. So cutover plan is nothing but master data uploading, right? So as I told you, let's say if it is an Oracle system, what happened, there are 15 years they are using. So they have 60,000 plus materials, so they have a vendor, customer, GL, right? So they have all the invoices, everything they already recorded. But now next week, next month they are going for the SAP system. So whether this data will be there or not, if this data is there, if it is a master data, yes, the data should be there. Let's say 60, instead of 60,000 material master I need to clean up, then I will put it only for 40,000 material. So that activity will be done by the cleansing, will be done by customer. So then only we can able to upload it, right? So those kind of cutover activity plan has to be discussed here. Okay, so that cutover plan, so plan means, right, what are the master data in MM module, what is the cutover plan, what are the master data they are going to upload, what would be the volume, so how many days it is required. So all the plan has to be designed. And what is the tool we are going to be used, what is the tool. So suppose in SAP S4 HANA we are using for migration cockpit tool is there. So before that in ECC S4, in SAP ECC, so there is no any kind of migration cockpit tool. So now you are new to SAP, you should learn how to upload the migration cockpit, how to upload the data or master data using migration cockpit. Okay, so that is more important. So that training will be there part of this implementation project training. Okay, next we are going to talk about the unit testing. Unit testing, integration testing, and user acceptance testing. Okay, what is unit testing? Unit testing will be done by individual module consultant. Okay, why I need to do unit testing? Because already we have prepared the test scripts. Already I know in MM module I have a 25 process. SD module I identified there are 30 process. So EW module I have identified there are 32 process. So now these process I have to execute. Okay, this process I have to execute. So individually I have to execute first, right? I'm the owner of my module. So first I have to execute. I'm not bothered about the integration, whether which GL is posting, whether which document is executing. So that I don't want to bother about in unit testing. Whether I can able to execute all the BPML process can be executed, yes or no? Okay, so next one is the integration testing. Integration testing will be done by cross module consultant. Okay, cross module consultant means suppose my if I am a EWM consultant, when I'm going to execute the process, I need MM consultant is required. When I'm going to execute there are any sales related process, I need SD consultant is required. When I'm going to execute any kind of production related integrations, I need PP consultant is required. So here module specific, trainees has to be execute the integration testing. Okay, that exposure is, very important, and that kind of exposure also you are going to get it here. So integration testing will be done by cross module consultant, so that all the process you have to test it here. So then we are preparing the end user training. End user training is what? So I need to get the UAT sign off. Okay, now this is more important. So the same kind of exposure UAT sign off we are going to execute in our implementation project also. So what we are going to do? So before that, first you have to prepare the training document. You have to train them. First you have to give a training. Okay, how to give a training? So you have to prepare the training document, and based on the training document you have to train them. Okay, who is going to execute the process? Maybe end user. So the end user is going to execute the process, so you have to train them. So after that you have to, already you prepare the test scripts, UAT test scripts. So based on the test scripts you have to execute the process, and the end user will, update the document. Okay, this sales order creation is done successfully. So based on the sales order, what are the sales area, what are the document type, material, plant, item category group, so everything will be updated. So next, based on the, sales order, then delivery creation, post goods issue or invoice creation, everything will be executed. So then this one particular process will be completed. So now end user has to give a green signal. Yes, this process is working, this process is throwing error. So based on that, your UAT will be getting signed off. Okay, so I think, hope you understand the realization phase, what are the deliverables, and you know, so the configuration is one of the deliverables. So apart from that, the show and tell sessions till now, whatever we have, we have delivered. So show and tell session is nothing but we have to configure, then we have to demonstrating to the customer. So no need to prepare any separate document. That is like a workshop kind of deliverable. Cutover plan, we discussed about master data. So every module, what are the master data we are going to upload into development system or quality. We are not going to upload into development. We are uploading into production system. So we are going to discuss about the master data cutover plan. So then testing. Testing means we have unit testing, we have integration testing, we have user acceptance testing. The test script has to be prepared. So that we have to be prepared. Then end user training and preparation of end user training, and those kind of deliverables also we are discussing in the realization phase.
So this is the fifth phase, that is the deploy phase. So here we'll be having, we'll be creating a final cutover plan. So as Dhanush sir have discussed, like what are all the data that we are migrating, master data and transaction data that we are going to migrate. So that final cutover plan will be planned here first, and then we'll be having the data migration production cutover. So that we'll be doing with any of the tools, we'll be doing the cutover activities. So then we'll have a SAP pre-go live check. So before the production server, we are moving all the data to the production server. In the pre-production system, we'll do the pre-go live. So we'll be executing all the business process, and we'll be checking whether all the configured things based on the business process of the client's business, whether it is all or executing in a right way. So then we'll have a milestone completion.
Yeah. So deployment phase. So here like the cutover activities. So here there are two different cutover activities. One is we have a pre-production cutover activities. Okay, we can say preliminary cutover activities or a pre-production. Pre-production means I told you the landscape, right? We have a development system, we have a quality system, we have a production system. So production system, there are two different instances. Okay, one is pre-production server, another one is a production server. So now the pre-production server, so we need to upload your preliminary cutover activities, right? So the preliminary cutover activities means, so whatever the data in Oracle system currently they have, after the cleansing, they will give the data. That data you have to upload into the pre-production server. Okay, now what happened as a consultant, any module consultant, then you need to get the get the sign off from the consultant as per the mail. See, you provided, you download the data. So whatever the data you uploaded, maybe material master, vendor master, info record, source list, quota arrangement, or even open purchase order, anything like even GL master or even vendor master, customer master, bank master, open GL, you know, anything like even bill of material, work center, routing. See, you received, these are all the master data, right? So that mail, same mail, you have to reply back, okay, I have uploaded, and please confirm that. You have to download whatever the data you uploaded, but let's say you have uploaded vendor master, let's say 7,000 vendor master you uploaded, download it. Then you just put it all the address details, we put it all the bank account details, you put it all the purchase loan details, or even the GST details, anything you copy, because all are in the different table, so you have to download it any cost. So you have to send it. So now we have uploaded in the pre-production server, please confirm. So now the counterpart, who is the data provider, right? Maybe he is the admin of the company, he will revert back, okay, you can proceed to upload in the production server. So now this data has to go to the production server. Okay, so that is the way, the deployment phase, the cutover activities will be happening. So you have to tell them in the interview also, so how you what you have performed in the deployment phase. So deployment phase, my roles and responsibility, point number one. So I have already planned the pre-production. We, in the landscape, we have a pre-production server and production server. Pre-production server number is so and so 123, okay, and the production server is let's say for it's a 800. So now we have received the data. What are the data? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the data you have to specify. And what is the volume of record? That is also you have to specify. And what is the number of hours you have uploaded? That is also you have to specify. And what is the tool you have used to upload? So all the information you have to tell them. Blindly you should not tell like that. So cutover activities is mostly the consultant people who have really have experience. Only those people will working in the cutover activities, because it's the production system. And again, this is the data issue. If some things go wrongly, then it will be very big issue. So you have to be very clear, and you have to upload your what is pre-production server and what is production server. And this phase, that the deployment phase, you have to be explain very clearly about the data migration and the tool, number of hours, number of records, everything you have to explain. Okay, yeah, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. So finally, this is the sixth phase here, that is run phase. So what we'll be doing, so we'll be resolving and closing the open issues configuration. So after, when we, so I mean, reaction systems, when we are executing the go live, pre-go live. So if we are having any of the open issues, and respective to the configurations, we'll be resolving and we'll be closing that in the run phase. So, and then we'll be having a technical and functional specification. So, what are all things that is in the gap analysis, what are all the functional specification, also the technical specification which was created by the ABAPers. So, everything will be documenting it and we'll be providing it to the client. So, also we'll be providing the user manuals that also will be given to the client. So after then we'll be having some support. So hypercare support will be provided to them, maybe for 1 to 2 months based on the client's requirements. So where if the end users or any super users, they were into any of the trouble while using their business process, we'll be guiding them for that. So then the final project will be completed.
Okay. So run phase. So run phase is the last phase, right? So till now we discuss about discover, explore, preparation, explore, and so we design now. Now our house is ready. So right. So now we build the house. So what next actually? So whether if any kind of issue comes, right? So what happened immediately? So let's say when they are going to uh, you know. um once that user is started to work, right? Once the end user is started to work, immediately they will have various issues will be coming. So what are the way, even nobody knows. So they will say that these issues, I'm creating the invoice and the invoice is not posting correctly. But they will say that no, the invoice is posting as per the requirement only, because you posted something wrong. You should not do like that. So like, because during the UAT they will say that those kind of scenario might not be covered, might not be discussed, might not be posted. But now once the go live is happen, now suddenly they are going to create the they are booking the invoice in different way. Okay, partial invoice they posted in Oracle and partial invoice they are booking in SAP. There is a challenges is there. So how we can able to rectify? So again those things and all, everything will be created as a support tickets. Okay, so now immediately today I created 30 tickets. Whether how many tickets are open, as I told you, right? So the ticket, this is purely for maintenance. So how we can able to rectify and give a solution within the short period. And so it's a very challenging activity for them. And next one is, so we are going to provide the Jira ticketing tool for you and assign the support tickets. And we are also pushing, okay, side by side, implementation project as well as support project also you have to work that exposure. Additionally, that support project exposure also will be getting. So that is what that resolve and close open issues. Then after that, this project, what are the deliverables, whatever we have discussed till now, 90% it's a deliverable. You have to give it to customer only. So you have to give a the scope document, right? The scope document most you have to deliver to customer. So mostly customer only will provide the scope document. So some of the case you will be preparing. Okay, this is based on the understanding of the questionnaire and the workshop, right? So then business blueprint. You have to give a deliver. You have to deliver the business blueprint to customer. Then you have to give a deliver. You have to deliver the BPML document to customer. Then RISE object. Suppose you have forms, reports, interfaces, enhancements. Those RISE object also you have to deliver to the customer. Then we have a, that is nothing but functional specification, right? All the forms, reports, interfaces, we call it as a functional specification. So that we need to deliver to the customer. Unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, end user training. These training document also you have to deliver to customer. Okay, so then only that the complete project milestone will be getting closed now. Okay, so here the Mara technologies. So what are the advantages? Whatever we have discussed. So we mentioned like tables. So we come to know, all the tables. So most of them they are not executed in a single table. But here in your module, minimum 100 plus tables you will be working. So how to execute the tables, and based on the table, how you can able to design the forms, how you can able to design the functional specification for the forms, reports, enhancement, and everything. So that exposure will be getting. So without knowing tables, how the tables are material master, how it is linking to even purchase requisition, how is linking to purchase order, how is linking to grn, how is linking to invoice, even how invoice is linking to payment. The same way like a inquiry, how inquiry is linking to quotation, how quotation is linking to sales order, how sales order is linking to delivery PGI. So then invoice, right? So same way for all the module, planned order, production order, even for EWM also. So those kind of table, understanding of the table, right? Back and what are the field names they are using, and what is the table names they are using. So everything you will be getting the additional training you will be getting here. You will have a confident. So then only you can move to the functional specification. Then only you can able to design the FS, right? So interview questions also we told, the apart from the support tickets, you will be getting the interview questions. So these interview questions, more than 300 plus questions you will be getting, and these questions also will helpful really for clearing the technical round interview. In addition to that, we will shape your CV. So how to make your CV in professional way, and what are the project we can put it. So in the implementation project, So what is the roles and responsibility you have performed? So in the role in preparation phase, what you have done? So I was involved in the business blueprint phase. So I was involved in the KDS. I was involved in the key data structure. I was involved in the rise up objects. I was worked on the five different forms. I was involved in the cutover activities. I was involved in the roles and authorization. So like that, you will be specifying what are the roles and responsibility, what are the roles you performed in this implementation project. Everything we are going to put it in your CV in a professional way. The same way like a supporting project, same way like a rollout project. So the same way like your migration project also, we are going to put it in your CV in such a way that this CV, nobody should have any doubt, okay, whether it is the fresher CV or whether it is an experienced CV. So in such a way that we are going to make your CV, and 100% I'm sure that within 3 or 4 interview, your profile will be shortlisted and you will be clear the technical round interview. Next, we are talking about like support tickets. So the support tickets, already I told you, the Jira tools we will be assigned to you, and you will be working in a Jira tool, and we will assign the minimum 40-50 plus support tickets will be assigned to you in addition to the implementation project. So you will be working in a support project also. So ticketing tools, we will be using Jira tools, and ServiceNow also is there, but the Jira tool is an open ticketing tool, so you can able to use the Jira ticket tools. So definitely integration with other module, right? So what is integration? So this is more going to, any interview without these questions, right? It's not a one question. So if any module you are into MM or SD or EWM, so how the integration is happening, how the accounting document is posting. So everything has to be, that is what in our project also there is a integration testing. So during the integration testing, you will be learning all the module, the cross module consultant testing, integration testings will be learning in there actually. So that is also we are going to be learning the integration testing. So next one is like the greenfield project. So this is we are talking about the greenfield and the brownfield implementation project experience also you'll be getting. And finally, I'm assured that you can believe me, if you are working in this project with 100% efforts, I'm telling minimum you have a 4+ years of experience in the project. I'm assuring you, as per my experience, I'm not explored myself. So till now, so I'm more than 17+ years experience in this field. Okay, so working with various industries. My name is Dhanush, 17 years experience, and in my 17 years experience, I executed more than 10,000 plus students. We given this training, and people who worked passionate and mad with SAP. Whenever they the 7 to 8 hours they will be working with SAP. But after completing, even I'm telling you, before completing, they will be getting the offer. So how it is possible? Because it's like the practices only, passionate, the practices only. You can easily become a how you can able to get the experience, right? So how you can able to get the 3 years of experience based on your practices. So that practice is not only your module, you have other module also. We have here, we have the opportunity. Here we have other module consultant also is there. So you have to utilize them. You have to utilize them. So then update your CV in such a way that then multiple people they will call you. Multiple people they will call you per day. So then based on that, you can easily, I'm telling, the interview point of view, the way of your technical round, your CV preparation, it will be attracting to all the MNC company. The way I just explained you, definitely that is the way. Whatever we just updated our CV in such a way that we are updating your CV, and 100% your profile will be shortlisted. And second thing is you are going to attend your interview. We are not going to attend your interview. So we will mold you. We will have a technical round interview, and this technical round interview will help you how you can able to clear the technical round interview in real time. I'm telling you, maximum 3 or 4 interviews, you will get the offer. So that assurance, that is my experience. I'm telling you, if you have the passionate, okay, if you have passionate, if you are working, and we have our internal consultant, nobody have this kind of opportunity. We have all model internal consultant, so they are ready to serve you, at any time in subject wise. Okay, so definitely this help will these practices, if you have that kind of exposure, connecting with our consultant, connecting with all the module consultant, so then only it is possible, right? So the duration of the project is 60 days. Okay, this is not for 3 months or 6 months, but the 3 months or 6 months work we are going to give it in the 60 days time. Okay, so this is what this implementation project you are going to get it, and end of the day what you are going to get the benefit. So 4 years of exposure you will be getting that. Okay, 4 years of exposure you will be getting that. So in addition to that, your CV will be in a professional way, it will be created, right? And third one, if anybody is calling for interview, you yourself you will clear your technical round interview. So that is what we want. So I don't want any other person has to help me, or I don't want any other person has to attend my interview. So no, those kind of things and all. So we are not going to entertain anyone. So here we will make yourself as a consultant, and 4 years of experience consultant, how they have the exposure in IBM or Accenture, they have equal or more than that exposure you'll be getting that. So they are going to start the October month projects. So 9th of October they are going to start. So there are two different batches. Okay, morning and evening. So morning 9 p.m., evening 11 a.m. So they are starting this batch. So interested. So I want to change. Okay, so I want to change, or I want to get into SAP. So I within next to 2 months or 3 months, I need to become a consultant. So I'm also earned in SAP, not in 20,000, 30,000. I want to be in a lakhs. I want to earn in a lakhs. So within within 2 years, or maybe within two company, if you're changing that to 1 lakh salary, you can get it. Within second company, that is possible. 100%, 150% of salary incomes, you can get it. Even 12 lakhs, I'm telling you, my best experience, in my best experience, the candidate from before completing the project got 12 lakhs per annum. So which means only the passion of how many hours you are working in SAP. I know most of the trainees, you are already working professional. I understood, I respect that, but at least minimum 3 to 4 hours, or minimum 2 to 3 hours per day, or Saturday Sunday you have to utilize. Okay, so then only it is possible. And this project is mainly for just for expecting minimum you have to work minimum 2 hours, or more than that even 8 hours if you are working. So we are really happy. And as I told you, so while working the project day 1 till 60 days, if you have any issues in the configurations, if you have any challenges in the practices, so as I told you, so our internal consultant, so they will help you. Okay, so if you have any questions, related to this implementation project, so whatever we are recording the sessions, so definitely we will share this recording also. Once again you can go through that, and what all the deliverables we have discussed, please go through once again also. If you have any doubts or any questions related to this demo sessions, you can feel free to contact Srikanth. So we have given Srikanth number here. And one more on that. So here we mentioned that there is a form. Okay, so that you can, if you are really interested, yes, I want to join this project, you can able to fill the forms also. So they have updated the forms here. So just you can able to fill the form here. And if you have any questions, anybody have any questions, you can able to just ping the questions once again. So we will ask you we will rectify your questions once again.